Orimu, Joera Maito. Nyamukera, Nyamukera, Nyamukera Maito. Joera Maito. Nyamukera, Nyamukera, Nyamukera Maito. Karimu, Karimu kawadoi, Karimu, onda dionire, Dorimu awadoi, onda dionire, Dorimu ni orimu, Karimu kawadoi, Karimu, onda dionire, Dorimu awadoi, onda dionire, Dorimu ni orimu, Joera Maito. Nyamukera, Nyamukera, Nyamukera Maito. Joera Maito. Nyamukera, Nyamukera, Nyamukera Maito. Karimu, Karimu kawadoi, Karimu, onda dionire, Dorimu awadoi, onda dionire, Dorimu ni orimu,
Hello, everybody. Welcome back, hopefully, to week 3 of season 2, Olympia Blenders Chess, coming at you from Olympia, Washington. 3 Magnus Brewing live. We got me, Funk, on the horn here. We got John for the first time this season, I think, in the booth for at least this first game, commenting. Say hi, John.
Hey, everybody.
There's John. He's a very good chess player. He's in this league as well. And yeah, we got our first game tonight. We got 3 games, same as the first 2 weeks. First game is going to be Shane versus Van. That's a Division 4 game. And then we got Division 1, Division 2 games to follow that up. Let's see. We got the standings up there too. It looks like for week 4. We got little audio issues here. We got League 4 game. Producer Kelsey leading the league right now. The game versus Shane and Van. They're 4th and 7th place currently. Yeah, it should be a fun match. John, what have you been thinking of the season so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This is my first full season with the Oli Blenders League. It's been the games have been spicy and competitive. League 1 has been really competitive. I definitely felt just a jump in stakes and a jump in just people playing better when we switched off into leagues. And I think that's actually the case for all the leagues, not just League 1 and stuff. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we're doing our entrance videos, and it seems like our players had already entered, drinking a beer, sharing a drink here at 3 Magnets. Oh yeah, they seem to be enjoying that. Yeah, very chill entrance there, you know. Okay, yeah. Let's see. We are. We're getting the game set up here. I believe we're going to be kicking off here in just a second.
It started snowing in Olympia today, so we're just happy to get these games in.
Yeah, I think it's all over Cascadia right now. It's snowing in Seattle as well.
Shane is looking at his phone like, I can't possibly get this to work right now.
Yeah, you know, technology. We got some old timers in here. Trying to make it work.
All right, we might have a game breaking out here in just a second. Shane has the white pieces.
And this is, I believe, Shane and Van have both played on stream in the first 2 weeks. So this is not new to them. But yeah, we're gonna see how they stack up if we can get this game started.
Game has been aborted. Okay, wonderful. They're gonna try this again.
It's all right. It happens, you know. Got to make sure we're set up correctly.
I think I aborted 2 games before my Kyle game last week. That was fun.
Yeah, you know, internet is what it is. These are
for all of them.
These are 30-minute games. Normally not on stream. You get 30 minutes. We've added. You'll see a few more minutes on each player's clock. That's because of, you know, playing across the live board. They still do enter the moves on the chess app. So a little extra time just for that difference there.
Do you like seeing the game in 3D as you're playing live chess, or is it better on the phone?
It's a different experience. I think you kind of see different things over the live board versus the app. I think one can be helpful. When I first started, it was just, I was always playing across the board. But yeah, I think a lot of people are more used to, playing on the screen nowadays. So we'll see if, we've had some players in the previous weeks kind of rely on that their little phone screen a little more than the board. But Different viewpoint can help sometimes. Right, we are. I think getting them in the room. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Shane can't figure it out.
I'm gonna lose.
We're having
Oh, there we
a
go.
B-roll over here.
All right, game is underway.
All right, we've got a ready already.
shit.
The opening with the knight f3. Always a tricky opening. Standard reply by Van, d5.
Shane quick with his moves. We have, I think people are considering Shane a little bit one of the trash talkers. He had the game against Elliot the Child previously. That was touted as perhaps one of the greatest trash talking matchups we were going to have.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be too much banter. I think maybe sharing that drink beforehand, little camaraderie going on.
Do we need to start writing some rules about trash
Last
talking
game I
children?
kept forgetting to confirm my moves.
I'm not
I just
sure.
turned it on.
I think the rule is you should trash talk children.
Okay.
Are you looking where the dots take you?
All right. Challenging the center here with e4.
Looks like both of them still enjoying a drink from Three Magnets Brewing. Unclear which they've gone with, but Three Magnets offers also non-alcoholic self-care beer line. Come on down and try it, if you're around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell you that the alcohol didn't help me against Kyle, but that's just me.
I should probably turn that off for these games.
Yeah, maybe, it could be an advantage. Buy your opponent a beer.
Bar.
Right. Yeah. He was doing non-alcoholic. I
Oh, wait.
maintain that's why
I thought you were talking about the bar out there.
No.
they seem to be having fun today.
Yeah, no obvious advantage yet. For any new watchers, if you're not used to the chess.com layout, the little indicator bar on the left side of the screen shows what the who the computer thinks has an advantage. So if the bar is is bigger on the black side, that means it thinks black is doing better. If it's bigger on the white side, it thinks white's doing better. It's just about dead even right now, though. No real advantage. It's still pretty early in the game.
Could probably expect Shane to block with the knight or bishop right here. Sort of a matter of taste. I don't think he's going to play c6. But you never know. Oh, sorry, Van, not Shane. Forgot who had the black pieces for a second.
Van thinking carefully. We don't have touch rules in these live games, so what is entered on the app is the true game. So
That's true.
if you mess up in the physical one, we have that digital game to fall back on.
Yeah, I was pretty sure there was a point in my live game with Kyle where the live board was behind the the screen. Oh,
Yeah,
like c6. There you go.
there you go. Yeah.
Straight up challenging that bishop.
We got a very
Taken.
different approach to this game.
I appreciate you thinking I know.
Yeah, I believe in the Shane versus Elliot the Child match, I think Shane moved pieces for both sides, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Mhm. Which is, maybe Shane should have gotten 40 minutes for that game.
You obviously know more
Yeah,
than
that's
I do.
true.
My 115 ranking. I must be the lowest rank. Am I the lowest ranked person in this league? 115 is not the lowest rank.
I can't believe that's Van's
He's like,
ranking.
wait, it
Jeez.
is.
No, Van has
Releasing the
gotten
queen, I
way
see.
better. So Shane not interested in guarding the bishop
What?
or
See, yeah.
moving the bishop.
No.
Yeah, we'll see if Van takes it.
Well, the eval bar certainly wants that. I'm not seeing a huge reason not to.
Scarf on face.
Scarf on face. Yeah, you don't want to give away that you just blundered your bishop. So maybe he's doing like poker face kind of thing.
Yeah. Need some sunglasses too, probably.
Yeah, maybe turn the hat around, put it over your eyes. Yeah. Dan does not take the bishop.
Looks like they're gonna do a bishop move of their own. If I see the yep. Fairly symmetrical board, almost.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. I do like Van's position. It's kind of unassailable.
Mm-hmm.
Shane's still not moving the bishop to get that other bishop into the game.
Although even with that bishop under threat now, Van does have to worry about that e5 move since the knight is pinned.
It's true. Even though the knight, yeah, that's true. I would still probably grab that bishop, but that's just me.
Yeah, opportunity abounds for both players, I think, right now. See if one of them can take advantage.
I might have thought about moving the black bishop back to e7 just to unpin the knight. I don't know. I think a lot of times players in the league get used to the pawn tension in the center of the board, so they don't think of the piece under threat as being something that they need to immediately capture.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
a
a
lopsided queen.
we do get a little chaos chess in these Division 4 matches, but sometimes you know they'll pull off moves that you didn't even consider, and you know, changing the complexion of the game like that is makes for some fun analysis. So Shane takes the knight with the bishop.
Unprovoked. I usually like to leave that there until like an h6.
And we're back to pretty much dead even now, as far as the computer can tell.
Yeah. I would think that e5 is coming right here just to get the queen off of the active square. Although the queen may, yeah.
Yep, you called it.
Still unconcerned about the bishop.
I bet you might sit there the whole game.
So Van could retreat the queen back to d8, and
Man, this is what I
but
did
might be
last game, and I was
considering
like, "Ah, fuck."
g6 here,
You were in this exact same.
just to
Sort
leave it
of.
sort of bearing down on the king side.
It was like my queen came out and I started running, and then it was just like gone from there.
I think your queen was supposed to be the one doing the rolling.
Van, looking back on past experience, maybe considering the retreat.
Yeah, I mean, common chess principles tell us to sort of leave the queen in the back rank or the second to back rank sort of early on, but if she's already out there.
If you got her, use her, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, this is a week 3 double round robin for each of the divisions. Shane with a win here could move into a tie for second. Not everybody in these standings, not everybody's played the same amount of games either, so keep that in mind. But yeah, still a lot that can move around at this stage with the rankings.
Oh boy.
Nice move.
Ooh.
Okay, so we've got another attack on the knight right here.
Nice move.
Oh, sorry, another attack on the queen right here. But the knight engine does not like that move.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't seem great for white, but I don't see an immediate killer move here.
Well,
I guess you know.
To drop the
Yeah.
knight with G4, right? Or,
See, you're already thinking ahead.
Okay. She didn't
what
play
this
it. No,
is.
not G4.
Yeah.
But the-
Attacking the knight and you still have pressure on the bishop, so
You're
the
like, I actually
computer
don't know what
feels like a minor piece should be one. I think the bishop might still sit there though.
yeah, I do think that. Yeah.
Hope you don't see my overall.
Like you have one. Yeah, fucking right.
Little banter.
I love the banter. Yeah.
Yeah, we do not control what the players are saying, so keep that in mind if you're watching with kids at home.
I do think my conversation with Kyle got to some pretty spicy expletives at some point.
Yeah, we try and keep it as family friendly as we can, but no promises, folks. We are streaming from a brewery here.
Stuff happens in chess, you know. Van still on the big think over here.
Let's see, it was
Didn't think I
yeah,
was gonna
pawn
do that,
move
did
here.
ya?
I always forget
I didn't even know I was gonna do that.
those pawns. I always
Opening up the king just a little bit here.
I got a queen taken by a pawn a couple weeks ago because I just like didn't see it.
Ooh, the finger on the nose. Thinking hard.
You think I know what I'm doing if you do that? I don't even know what that is.
And it does seem like Van's actually been, I think, using the live board more
This is way more thinking than I.
as they've been playing the game. Shane, I think, playing on the app. Trying to conjure that magic with his fingers there.
If I'm Shane here, I don't know that yeah, I mean, I'd probably bring the knight back to f3, but also if Van takes, the king side is wide open. It's just gonna be like Wild West in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Yeah, F3. I think for Shane, I kind of like Knight G2 as well because, you can prep for the castle, and I think for makes it a little harder. I think for Van to put together an attack in a position like that, he could focus on other things like protecting his bishop, maybe.
or the knight that's also still hanging. Yeah. I think if I'm Van here, I would start capturing things. You know, I would capture the knight with check, and then capture other things.
Yeah.
Didn't capture the knight with check, but that's okay.
Pieces coming off the board now. I wonder if Shane capturing over that side maybe that draws Van's attention to that white bishop that's been under threat for a while.
One would hope.
Got some friendly pats for Shane by producer Kelsey.
Mm. I got no such pats during my game.
I know. Like I said, Kelsey first place in the standings right now. Maybe it could be mind games going.
That's true. Yeah, I'll tell you that sitting atop those standings with 21 points looks mighty. You know, it's like that just looks like you've climbed a mountain there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Still a lot of chess to play. Oh, and another attack on the bishop, but computer now favoring white.
Still, you don't need to attack it with 2 pawns. That's the thing. You could just take it with one of them.
That's the main part. I play chaos chess.
Sometimes it feels
I try
like
to
they
be
can
that
hear us,
person, like, you know,
Yeah.
playing a versus
even though they
video,
can't.
And they just like hack at your ankles, and they're really hard to beat because they're just kicking at you.
Van, a proud chaos chess player.
Yeah, is Shane thinking about a queen check right here, like just coming after the king? I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a pointless check, but
Look at my pawn layout, though. Beautiful. It's
Could be.
gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I do.
Could be a thing. There.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think at this point, Shane just kind of parking his bishop on d3 feels like a pretty strong position for it to be in. Keeps pressure over there on that king. You know, he's gonna have to worry about that if the queen does get into the game, like you're saying.
Oh, Elliot? Yeah. I play Elliot on Saturday. Are you gonna come out on Saturday?
Oh, there's the queen check. I just sensed that was coming.
Put me in the...
Really one move here, unless Van feels like trading queens at this stage.
Never know.
You want me to move my queen up there, don't you?
Quite a position. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on what Shane actually would prefer here. If he does want Van not offering the queen trade at all for now.
Yeah, this would help, eradicate that queen. You just bring the rook over to g8. Queen will have to retreat. Gotta like Van's pawn structure a little better these days, although Shane has a semi-open file for the rook.
Yeah, I feel like the pawns are kind of a wash right now. I mean, I think Van's pawns definitely support each other more, but they're also blocking in her white bishop at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that white bishop, the light squared bishop ain't going nowhere. Queens probably come off the board
We're
right
going for
now,
the
I
queen
would think,
sacrifice.
unless Van doesn't like that. A lot of players like their queens.
The computer's swinging the advantage quite a bit back to black. I guess that's just because he because
Yeah,
Van
it's
can
detrimental.
trade queens now and then still get that bishop.
And if I don't
Yes.
take you and you take me out,
Still.
Still, yeah. Yeah.
I don't. I really don't.
Anytime you can force a queen trade plus capture a piece, it's, you know, going into a favorable endgame. So engines sure
Yeah,
like that.
I think it starts now.
Yeah, Van does it. Way to go.
We go.
So now, Van, back to what you were doing before. There's something over there on the queen side.
I'm gonna think, what would chess.com do?
I do like it. The position's a little more fun now too, because you got these files starting to open up, and these rooks I think are going to start getting into the game.
Yeah, that will happen. Hopefully, Van. Oh, she took with the wrong pawn.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was not the way to go for Van. You got to take with that C pawn so that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shane sees it.
Yeah. Now those pieces are just in trouble. Van's gotta get the knight over to D7 now,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can defend the bishop with the rook and don't lose another piece.
This is total bullshit.
Shane, I believe, licking the cannon.
I want to lose somebody. Who do I want
So that's a pretty big eval bar swing there for being up in exchange. Am I counting the material right? Oh, up an exchange and a pawn. Okay.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is now Van's pieces are still going to be kind of stuck for a little bit. It's going to be hard to maneuver out of this because a lot of the pieces you just can't move away because, you know, they're either pinned to other pieces or, yeah, they get stuck where you move them. So
Yeah.
see if Shane can take advantage.
If Shane moves the other rook to G1, Van is just trapped in this position because king can't go anywhere. That rook really can't go anywhere. The knight can't go anywhere. 'Cause nothing's defending the
I
rook.
don't have any.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be a pretty paralyzing move.
Maneuvering the knight, I think that's okay too.
Yeah, you got to get the knight to squares that it can move to other squares. So, yeah, always a good knight back move.
Van takes the file.
That is a wise move. I might consider just still going rook G1 just to trade down more further, but Shane wants the knight further up the board. Pawn structure's so weird that knight's not going to really have any defenders, but not really any pieces that are going to start chasing it around either.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think Van has any big threats. So you know, just this knight can just keep maneuvering H5, F6, and then yeah, there's no getting into a place where you can't defend everything.
Yeah, but
I wonder if that
Van's
means it
light squared bishop is just
diagonally-
sad.
I don't know.
Maybe it means like rook or something. Cat, can you Google it?
Shane also just way ahead on time.
Yeah. Still not any risk, I think, for the players right now.
Yeah. But it is harder to find good moves when your position's all locked up.
We got the scarf back over the face. Could
This
be a tell.
This is probably the way to go for Van here. Start marching some of these pawns, like just start to explode the pawn structure on the queen side so that you can get some freedom of motion,
Mm-hmm.
even if it requires sacking a pawn, although Van is already down material.
Yeah, I think at this point, sacking a pawn just to break open that kind of locked in structure is kind of worth it.
Yeah. Shane may wind up with a passed pawn if it happens, which could be a problem.
What's the progress bar say?
We have some
Van
attempted
tried to-
cheating happening over here.
I just want to know how poorly I'm doing.
I think we've got a lovely Three Magnets Brewing beer on stream right now as well.
Yeah. It's making me really
Streaming live. Oh, there we go. Let's stream live from Three Magnets. We'll have a beer.
It's making me really want to hear what's happening. Oh, another mysterious knight back move over here. Yep, there's the pawn push.
I think pretty quick. I think it seems like Van kind of has an idea now what they want to do. Oh, here's the.
Yeah, here's the rook trade. It's gonna happen whether Van wants it or not.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, geez, because this almost. I don't think there's any way to save Black Knight after this either.
Yeah.
Commentary.
It's
can
just
I
going to
still
stay
castle?
pinned, and there's no defender.
Shane is asking commentary if he can still castle.
That was a good move.
No.
No, he cannot.
But
I'd ask ChatGPT,
but you know, it's move 20. Why are you thinking about castling?
Yeah, you haven't used either of those players.
Shane considering the castle, even though he can't do
No,
it.
but he said, could he still? It's not since
Yeah.
you moved your.
Oh, okay. The castle you
Yeah,
won.
yeah.
If you had an
hadn't
invisible
castled, you
rook
could've castled.
on A1, then you could still queenside castle.
Castle me
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
about
That's the
that?
invisible castling rules that are rarely played.
But that is like a 20-year-old reference.
And in a big think here, and in a tough situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that, then you'll do that, and then I won't have a comeback.
See, now you're talking like me, and I don't like it.
I guess if I'm Van here, I take the rook now
Can I commentate at the
because
same
it
time?
comes with check,
No, turn his mic off. Turn his mic
and
off.
then you can.
Currently, Van is
Oh.
deep in consideration at this moment. Right now, 2 of her pieces are in a Mexican standoff. So she could choose blood. But remember, she has those little guys Sometimes the biggest surprises come in the smallest packages.
I think Shane's coming for our job.
He is. I think,
Yeah.
was he auditioning there? That was, he's already got the terminology down. The little guys and all.
I don't know if we can use the term Mexican standoff anymore.
Scrap fire.
Not unclear.
Yeah.
By my what?
Probably not.
There's a Latinx three-way that is currently evolving.
Man, burning a good deal of time here.
I don't know.
on this move.
Also not quite sure what Shane's talking about.
Yeah, things have deteriorated in the conversation.
I have a little bit more understanding why maybe he was covering his face with his scarf there. A few occasions. And still considering this move.
I don't remember what I was doing at this point. You're just icing the kicker.
Oh, I guess sliding the rook over and preserving it is a good sound move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane quickly moves the knight back.
Trying to create some time pressure, sort of thinking on your opponent's clock. Always a good strategy. Is he going for checkmate here with a capture on f7? Is that checkmate?
I believe it will be if Van doesn't defend against it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
that.
and quickly. Yeah, he saw it too.
There you go.
That's game.
I was missing it.
Right.
I was missing it. I lost 15 points.
Well done by both players.
Terrible move.
A little fun, some interesting positions there.
So wide. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
And I believe we're going to hear
I way overthought it.
in just a second
Who's your first?
from Van first.
About that.
It's a victory for FC Olympia and across the world.
The talk of shame, as we like to call it here at Oli Blenders.
Van, how are you doing? Can you hear us okay?
Oh, I forgot to share the link. Ah, you guys got it.
I'm not sure.
I think we're good.
Can you hear us now, Van?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, got it all worked out. How you feeling after the game?
You know, just the same as last week. Not great. I felt like the majority of the game went better until I started doing stupid things.
I think, I wouldn't say stupid things. It was just, there were choices made. We got FC Olympia support, though, behind. It seemed like you were a little trapped at the end. Was there, was there any strategy you were going for to try and kind of work yourself out of that position? Or at that point, you just...
No, it's all chaos chess. But no, his two castles really trapped me in. I thought my pawn structure was pretty good, and then it kind of, kept some of my other pieces from being able to go forward. So I need to work on opening my game up a little earlier.
Yeah, we got John here in the booth for the first time this season. John, any questions for Van?
Hey, Van.
Hello. Hi, John.
Yeah, we were sort of begging you to take Shane's light squared bishop a little earlier than you did in the game. You had the pawn rubbing up against it pretty early. Did you consider it and just you wanted to leave it there, or what was going on there?
Yeah, I guess in my incorrect thoughts, it was that I was just going to lose a piece, but, it's a pawn. And in the end, I had a lot left on the table, so it would have been a better choice So I'm learning, you know?
Yeah.
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 Is
I
that what I
really
should have done? Do you think that would have gone?
Yeah, I mean, I think taking the bishop early on would have helped you, perhaps. It really, the game only shifted towards Shane when you captured the bishop with the A pawn instead of the C pawn. Otherwise, you played pretty solid throughout there, Van.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like it was a more fun game for me to play than last week's match. But yeah, it's always good to play Shane, so.
Yeah, so last week you had some words of encouragement from your mom, I believe. Did you get any messages coming into this week's matchup?
No, I think she might be watching or might have been watching. I always send them the link right before the game, but I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I'm not quite sure if she's texted me or not.
I'm sure she has because she seems lovely. So
Yeah, I love my mom, but I will make sure to share it with Ashley so he can put it up. But thank you guys for being here and commentating.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more. Are you playing? I believe there's a game Saturday. Are you playing Saturday?
Yeah, I'm playing against Elliot on Saturday.
Awesome. Okay, great. So we
I
will
know.
see you back on Saturday then.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna overthink that one. That's for sure.
You teach that child a lesson.
What? How to lose? My chess.com ranking dropped to 100.
You're gonna get that back up.
Yeah, those are just numbers. They don't mean anything.
they mean my loss streak is at like 5, but you know, like I said last week, it's fun. I'm learning. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's great. As long that's I think that's why a lot of people are here. You know, winning and losing is great, but having fun's the prime thing. So glad you enjoyed.
Yeah, it's the thing for me is I've got to start looking at the game as like a bigger thing because I'll move pieces and not realize that some of them are in danger. So I gotta just keep looking at where the pieces are, where his pieces are, and just kind of reconsidering instead of jumping on moves like I did with the last one. But I'll get Shane over here for you guys.
I definitely thought you had a decent position going, though. Your pawn structure was nice. You were attacking his pieces. I think it just like one move here or there, made a difference.
Yeah. I'll work on it. Hopefully Saturday will be better. I'll do my chess.com lessons.
We were also noticing that it seemed like you were kind of going back and forth between the physical board and the app. Did you kind of have a preference or feel like you were doing better on one?
I feel like it's easier for me to see the game as a whole from the app just because it's that overhead view. And I'm pretty short, so the pieces kind of go about halfway up my face when I'm sitting at this booth. It's a little hard to see, but no, it's I think it's good to find a balance. I don't want to be staring at my phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Dang.
Awesome.
I'll get the winner over here. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you, Van. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Shane,
Ooh, that's nice.
can you hear us?
One sec. Okay,
Can you hear us okay, Shane?
I can hear you great.
Awesome. Congratulations. What are your thoughts? How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a really even match, I felt like. We were comparing our stats beforehand, and we were literally dead even pretty much in everything that mattered. She has a higher puzzle score than I do, but once you get into the blender, there's only so much you can do. I had a strong strategy. I had a strong strategy of basically making a move as soon as she made a move. So it almost cost me early on because it led to a great pawn setup for her. And then I kind of leapt into her blundering at the end there.
So it sounds like time pressure was almost, you were coming in with that as to try and use that to your advantage.
Oh, very much so. I mean, we started talking about, what do the letters mean? Where is what color on the board? Should it be black and white? Should it be different colors? I don't know. I barely knew what was going on. She barely knew what was going on. And we were talking about it. Sometimes you get dragged down into the mud and one person comes out on top.
There you go. We got John here too. John, do you have any questions for Shane or Victor?
Hey, John.
Hey Shane, how are you?
I'm doing all right now.
Did you when you had your light squared bishop over there on b5 and
Sure.
Van did not take it? Did you have this sense that Van was never going to take your light squared bishop?
Yeah, so that was pretty much my only plan from the beginning, because I think that must have been like my fourth move overall on the board. And that was the only thing I had set up the whole time was, okay, once she takes this, I'll throw my horse over there,
Right.
throw a couple suicides out there, but ultimately just to pin her back. And then every time that I thought, oh, here we go, we're going to start taking some pieces, it was pretty much just completely left alone. I don't even remember if it ever was. It was taken like right at the very end there, but at that point it didn't matter. My rook was already up, threatening both her horse and her other rook and her king/queen. So that was a lot of things did not go the way I thought they were going to go.
I mean, that was a decent little mating net you set up there at the end. The king being trapped, and you found the right square for the knight at the end there. That feels good.
Oh, it felt great once I entered that slot there. I didn't want to go anywhere else. It wasn't my initial plans, but sometimes you just fumble into it and it works out.
Okay.
We noticed too that it seemed like maybe you were auditioning for the commentator role. Any thoughts on joining the commentary crew in an upcoming stream?
Yeah, I think it'd be a great time. The sound of my voice, I know, brings pain to many, but it's a good time. I've done it a couple of times on our Rocket League streams, and very different energy going on there versus the slow jazz in the background. But you just get real deep and real low, and you can't complain too much about it. It's real nice.
Exactly. See, you got it. Like, hugs from producer Ashley. I'll also notice too the scarf over the mouth, an intentional distraction with your for your time pressure.
Oh, very much so. I mean,
normal thinking.
We agreed early on to wear some FC Olympia gear, just to rep the brand and rep the city. I honestly am mad at myself for not just using the scarves more, for just kind of flicking it in her face and really distracting her. But it definitely helped me, because I know at the end there, I was trying to cover my mouth up when she moved that rook over, and I was like, oh, I think I have checkmate here.
It sounds like no tactics are beneath you.
No, not at all. You get me face to face, and it very much evens the playing field. You get me online while I'm just at work or driving home or something, then it's totally different game.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. I believe this puts you, for the time being, into second place. So, still at a shot to get into the promotion playoff game.
Yeah, but if I win again, then I have to play better opponents, and they might not actually fall for my childish tactics. So it's really, Occam's razor, or, the cat in the box, whatever that analogy is,
Schrodinger's cat.
Real Sophie's choice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we're gonna head to break now. You can go off, have a beer at Three Magnets Brewing in Olympia, and congratulations again, Shane.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for commentating.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, I believe we are going to take a break just for a few minutes while we set up for the next game. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
I'll be back.
Oh, we got entrance videos. Here.
Oh yeah, I believe we're back.
I think we're back. And
I think so. We'll just, if nobody can hear us, then that's fine too. We got
we'll just
okay.
talk until somebody
We got Smashly's entrance video. Oh, he's a little bit of posturing. This is producer Smashly, everybody. Producing all season, but this is his first game on stream. He's got a hat. He's very proud. Oh, he kicked the hat. Maybe he's not proud of that.
drop kicked the hat. I thought that was a Sounders hat.
He
Why is he
picked,
dropping
he picked it up. Oh, he's brushing it off. I think he realized he shouldn't have kicked his hat.
He may be a bit tipsy.
That's a given with Smashly, I think.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. So okay, we're back, I believe, almost with game 2 of the night. This is season 2, week 3, game 2, division 1. That's a lot of numbers, and we have chess, a game of numbers, kind of. There's numbers in there, folks, and we're coming at you with numbers. Okay, we're starting the game.
And we're off. Yep.
Victor versus Ashley. This is a Division 1 game, top division. Both, everybody Division 1 good. I think.
This might be a little bit of whiplash for the folks who watched the first game of Division 4, a different level of play. We're about to jump up to Division 1.
Ashley, trying to use the mic. We're not getting anything. I might be hearing him on stream. But we got a game. We got a Queen Spawn opening here. Victor, C4. I think we're going to be in book for a few moves.
Decide whether I want to accept or decline.
But we got ourselves a game. We got the new standings up too. You can see those in your screen. Ashley, 9th, but that's okay. He's here and he's fighting. And Victor, I think 6 is low for. I think Victor was on stream. In an earlier game. I think he deserves more points than the 6. He's a very good player. He beat me, in fact, and I'm okay. So
Well, there you are, third in the you're in third place right up there. And yeah, this is an opportunity for Victor to really jump up. And as a strong player, you mentioned before we came on the air, I'm going to call you out. If you were a betting man, who would you pick?
I'm thinking Victor's has the advantage in this game. Producer Smashly, he's been producing, and he might be a little distracted. It's who's this? It's going to be difficult to turn around, go straight into a chess game. His mind's been on producing. He thinks about producing a lot, and now we've got to think about chess, and we'll see if he can manage that transition.
He was producing some beer consumption, as we saw in the walk-in. So
yeah, beer consumption at 3 Magnus Brewing here in Olympia, Washington, live. If you want a beer in Olympia, come on down. Have a
delicious beer. As Smashly's showing off a little bit of the brain juice there.
Sipping. I'm trying to get audio. We might have audio. Not sure.
There's no headphones.
Maybe no one's hearing us. No one's hearing this brilliant commentary.
I heard him a little bit. Okay, I think we got it going.
Oh, good. I can see the producer cam. It's almost like some wild animals took over the producer booth.
Hashtag fuck funk.
Can you check my...
Victor's drinking one of the darker beers that 3 Magnets offers. They offer such a range of delicious beers, and I usually go for the lighter ones, but some of their darker barrel-aged, just fantastic beers.
Oh yeah, nice sipper.
Yeah. I just talked myself into being on site next Thursday. I gotta have.
Sorry, Doug.
Gotta have some beer.
Doug, read my note in the chat, please.
Oh. I see. I can't see the. Oh, there it is. Let's see.
Oh yeah, we got we got noted Rocket League player Toad Death saying that Ashley is known by some as the Captain Jack Sparrow of the chess arena. So there you go. We can all see the similarity to Johnny there. I mean,
I'm not seeing any other screen name. Maybe that's the one she was referring to.
oh, I see. Ashley's player name. Ashley's chess player name. Oh, I see. Okay. That's Ashley not playing on his normal account. That would be Smashly FC. So if you're confused as to why one of the players is Ashley Stinks Dummy, it's because of producer shenanigans, you know, and set up games. And, you know, you do what you got to do. So we have Ashley Stinks Dummy versus V-Dubs over here.
So yes, we have confirmed some wild animals have taken over the producer booth. We're all adults here.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's see what's going on in this chess game here. It's
yeah, there's a chess game happening.
Victor, a computer. So, like, you know, computer thinks Victor has a small advantage, nothing big. Don't see anything obvious where anybody's in a terrible position. I think I do like Victor's position a little bit more.
You like that pawn structure he's setting up?
Yeah, I think he's, you know, I think he can control. He's got a little bit faster control for more of the board at this point. But after we open up, this is good. He can now get his black bishop into the game. So still early though. I think we're get a few more moves. We'll get a better idea how the players want to develop. Feeling like maybe a castle might come out of Victor right now, but we'll see. Might have other ideas in mind.
Overhead light just for the players.
Yeah.
Like these pieces are so dark,
Right.
and the board is so dark.
Look at
A
that.
bit of player banter.
Yeah. Well, I think producer Ashley is thinking about, you know, how these pieces are showing up on stream. Always thinking of the viewer. Doing, like I said, that producer brain is still going.
Right, that's right. Well, this is probably good experience for him to see what it's like to be in the player seat. I don't know how often he does get to be televised or broadcast.
Yeah, this might be. Other than walking in the background, I don't think he's featured.
So Victor holds on that castle move and pushes the pawn forward, which the computer didn't quite like.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite necessary for him, but yeah, I think maybe he's a little worried about what might happen. But Ashley, nice.
So that aggressive knight. I played that last game and managed to sneak out a victory, but I think the aggressive knight might not always be a great way to go.
Yeah, it can, kind of being able to park a knight there, towards the middle of the board, towards your opponent's side. It can be very, if it's well defended, it can be very annoying to kind of deal with. At this point, it's not defended by anything right now, so we'll see. Victor might be able to kind of chase it out, but might still be looking at that pawn over there too. If
that pawn is pretty much undefended, is that right? Am I missing something? No, there's a bishop right there.
The bishop's there, and actually, having the bishop take back, I think that's a better position for Ashley. So yeah, Victor doesn't actually. Yeah, he kind of does double attacks that knight. Like I said, not defended yet, but also gets another attacker on the pawn. So I think now if he does take the pawn with his pawn, well, it's harder for Ashley to take back.
Right, now that knight is challenged, and of course, yeah, I think he has to move that knight, otherwise then that rook is under attack.
Yeah, I think he's got to do knight move. He could do. There's ways to defend it, but moving the bishop to defend it, moving a pawn to defend it. But I don't. Those positions kind of. I think the overall position after doing that maybe is a little weak for Ashley. So yeah, I kind of for the moving the knight, I'd say that d6, moving it in front of his bishop and queen there. It puts another defender on that pawn. I think that's kind of a good spot for it. So we'll see if he does that. But like I said, other options. So always things to consider.
Mm-hmm. Definitely contemplating on the phone now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he checks. Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, and a kind of a power move. Gets up and walks away after the check. What?
Could be some mind games going on, yeah.
Wow.
I hope he's not cheating by looking at the screen up front.
Or listening to the commentary. Wow, okay.
I'm sure producer Ashley would never cheat. A man of integrity, for sure.
Certainly. I mean, it seems like Victor can just move that bishop up to cover, and then if it starts a trade war of a different kind, Victor would still come out ahead. So I don't really. I mean, this is.
Yeah. I
This
agree.
is a check, but I don't know.
Yeah, Victor can interpose his pieces here, and it's just a trade, and if Ashley chooses to do that trade, like he has to get rid of his two most attacking pieces right now, and kind of start from scratch. So I think Victor would be fine with that, I believe. But okay, he moves
blocks
that
with the
to
trade. I can see that. Trade wars are easy to win. We're gonna have tariffs. We're gonna have trade wars. That's as good as my impressions get.
All right.
That's a football term.
Okay, Smashley is messing around.
Yeah, who
He
knows
needs
what
to
he's
take
doing?
this seriously. He's gonna get whooped.
Kelsey, wash your hands.
And playing fast and loose, or it could be. You never know. This could have been a strategy.
Wait, what happened? The horse? Yep. Okay.
On the record, Ashley did not wash his hands after going to the bathroom.
Yes, I did. I washed my hands. I
think
also
you only watched one of them.
shielded the vision from the TV, so I couldn't see the analysis bar. So honorable.
Oh, there he goes. He's
There's no way to prove that. I'm just saying that's what I did. This is what I did.
I think he knows. We considered that option when he left, but you're just gonna have to take his word for it. Everybody out there in viewerland, I don't know whether you believe he cheated or not.
So now Victor's got a pinned knight. Not sure how Ashley would respond to this.
Yeah, I feel like, that knight is still under attack. So if he doesn't either retreat or take or trade the knight right now, he's gonna have to defend it, I think.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's got some options to defend that knight too. He could bring a pawn up. He could move the bishop.
Deep in thought now. Looking at the physical board right now too.
Mm-hmm. Trying to weigh some options here.
Hands coming out. Seems like maybe he's settling on something.
He's really focused on the right-hand side of the board there. Trying to see what he might be seeing over there.
Head tilting a little more. Oh, body language. Here we go. Leans back. Leans forward.
Definitely taking some time. This is a good time to take some time. In my humble opinion, this is a good time to take some time on this next move because things could start falling. And he goes for trades.
Yep. There's the trade. Takes knight. I think Victor really only has the taking back with a pawn right here.
And the knight's down. So that is, it's a little hard for me to see, but I think that's a pawn, 2 pawns and a knight that Victor's taken. If I can see.
Pawn and a knight each player right now. But Ashley, I think, is going to have to that bishop, and at that point, I think that Victor can win a pawn.
Oh, let's see. No, I don't see. Let's see. So I do see Smashley has to move that dark square bishop back.
I don't know what's so funny.
Yeah, it's yeah, so once he moves that bishop back, the B pawn, the kind of the 2 pawns on the left side there, I think Victor can just take that with his pawn, and there's no good way to Victor might be able to hold on to that advantage. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
So Ashley takes. So he's attacking back with the pawn. Yeah, it does. That might have been a way for Smashley to kind of keep that pawn advantage, but I think Victor's still going to have a better position coming out of this, depending on how he chooses to trade.
Oh. He did not take the bishop with the pawn.
Yeah, he takes his pawn back. Now he's got the threat of trading the bishop on d7 with check. So Ashley still does have to be careful with his bishop. Pretty even though. Again, no huge advantage. I think Victor's a little better off, but
yeah, still anyone's game here. I like to imagine these 2 bishops just talking, the the white bishop and the black bishop, sharing some notes, like house confession the other day.
Yeah, those two bishops too, they are they're on opposite colors. They can never touch. They can never meet. They can be next to each other and chat, but they are permanently in their own worlds.
Yeah,
always separated by just 1 square.
By just 1 square, not a threat to each other.
All right, Ashley has made his move. He trades the bishop.
The name of this game is Trade War.
At this point, Victor could take either bishop here, I think. I'll see which one see which way he goes. I kind of like taking the white bishop with the rook, I think.
That was my first thought.
What is this?
And we got our players taking a sip of their beer here at Three Mangas Brewing.
It helps you think.
Yeah, and he does take with the rook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because now Smashley has to pull back.
Mm-hmm. There's also possible threats where Victor can now think about checking with his queen. There's some vulnerabilities where, that rook is kind of open to attack on that long diagonal.
So yeah, there's the retreat. So would you
See, what you don't know is I can't play on my phone and also put the board up on the screen because that's my account.
No, they know it because we already had this discussion earlier.
Nobody's fucking talking to you, non-commentator.
Focus on your game.
I'm just joking. It's just a joke. You don't have to stare me down.
Player Smash.
Wow,
issued
we have a producer takeover here.
Ashley made this account all by himself 5 minutes before the match.
So it seems like I don't know. To me, I would be inclined to just put him in check and start pushing that king around. But that obviously was not a good move because there's the castle.
I think that's okay. I think I like this castle though. Like I said, Victor's pieces are more active right now. Compared to Ashley's. Victor can, with that castle, Victor can really get both of his rooks kind of into the game. Ashley's are undeveloped. His knight is still in its position. His black bishop really doesn't have very many places to go. Most of its outlets are kind of protected by Victor's pawns right now. So yeah, I think castling there is fine.
Mm-hmm.
See, taking a look at the clock, Ashley's used quite a bit more at this point. Still not in any serious trouble, but something to keep an eye on if this game goes a little longer.
Yeah, that little boastful move for a little bathroom break in the middle and time to wash hands. That cost him a little bit, but he's getting his knight out now into the action.
Giggling at my moves.
But that knight can't really go but one place from here.
Trying to fucking focus here.
It's not terrible. It's still going to be a couple moves to maneuver into a position where, be more useful.
This man took down Funk the other day.
Do you think it could be defensive at this point?
I think there's some verbal jabs.
What is happening?
Oh yeah, because Shane didn't talk the whole fucking game. Why am I cussing so much?
Let the record show
Jeez,
that
frustrating.
player Shane was talking as a player, not as a producer. Thank you.
Again, I know there's a lot of tension built up with the producers here. Bear with us. We'll guide you through it.
Yep. We have no control over the players on the field here. Their emotions run high.
I believe maybe there was a little bit of a jab from Smashley at me. That's okay. He lashes out sometimes, but I know it's because he cares.
Deep down, it's because he cares.
All right, so we've there we go. We got some pawn moves
and a major move by the computer. Hated that.
Yeah, pretty big swing here.
Hated it.
Ask the commentary how my cock management is.
I'm going
As
to turn
usual,
off
we
your
have
mic.
some
Do it. I've done
vulgar references to the clock here.
Yeah, which we already commented about. He's a couple steps behind at this point, but he is,
One beer.
he's playing the game and not fully attentive to producing. So that might account for why he's lagging.
Let the record show that player Smashly is now in the penalty box for the next 60 seconds. Thank you.
Wow, we've got mic control, folks. I don't believe we can hear him right now.
He's muting.
He thinks he said something very clever. He may have, but we didn't hear.
These distraction moves don't seem to be working on Victor. Oh, and now the computer says we're back to pretty close to even. Just what I said. I don't think these distraction moves are working on Victor. That may have been a mistake. I'm not seeing why.
He seemed pretty focused, I think. Knows what he wants, I think. Oh, wow.
And we're back.
Not sure what Smashly was going for there, but I think that it's just a free. Oh, I think he's depending on if he takes the bishop. I think Smashly wants to take the pawn back with the knight and the queen and the rook, but I don't believe that works because Victor can then just trade queens with check and end up a minor piece. He can just move the rook after, and I don't believe that will work out like Ashley wants. We'll see if Victor decides to take.
Yeah, if Victor sees it. If he doesn't see it, that was a great move. But that's always a big risk.
Yeah, well, definitely considering it. This could be the swing point of the game, I think.
That's exactly the kind of thing I would just fall for.
We got some table service here.
Now Victor could just move that queen over and pin that knight.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have to take it, but I think this is his greatest chance so far in this game to get a clear-cut advantage. Oh, he defends the pawn. Yep, so he didn't want to commit, playing a little safe.
Yeah, it's a little conservative move, which... yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind it. It's like I said, I think even before that move, he's got the slightly stronger positions. Not a lot of pressure on him at the moment. Let's see. Now so now he can just take the bishop, and if the knight takes back, the bishop's covering there, but then the queen's opened up. Yeah, I think he can still just do the same queen trade, and it's still okay.
He might be thinking about threatening that queen while he's over there.
Yep, he does. He takes it.
Oh, he takes it.
I think Ashley was looking at taking back with the knight, but I don't think it works.
Oh, Smashly with a fresh beer. Right from the brewery at Three Magnets.
Yep. Three Magnets, Olympia, Washington. Fresh beer. See how it affects this game.
I don't see it. I don't see that it's going to help. I'll tell you one thing. The beer takes the sting out of a loss. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Smashly kind of taking his time now. I thought maybe it would have been a quick play. He had it kind of lined up. Perhaps reconsidering. Nope, he does it.
And he does it.
Yeah, so we do got a fork there. See, the rook and the queen are attacked, but Smashly, I don't think he anticipated that queen trade. Not that the knight is the queen anymore. Victor can trade and then keep that advantage of the bishop. Actually, he can trade and just take the knight now. next move after.
That's right.
Because he moved that bishop out. So, yeah.
Did you not see the one today?
Oh, it's so hard to trade that queen. Oh, it's so difficult. But sometimes you just got to do it. And sometimes taking a little sip of beer before you make the move makes the medicine go down. Yep.
Swisher's already there. Yeah, whatever. You know.
And we have regicide. The queen goes down.
Because then you're also gonna get.
Yeah, Ashley looking at the board now, seeing, I think, there's not a way to recoup that without further losses.
So which rook?
I think the F rook next to the king, because it's going to have to be moved anyway because it's about to be under attack.
Yeah,
He takes back with the knight, so...
yeah.
Oh,
But he goes with the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think quick move here probably. Yeah.
And there goes the knight.
Things swinging downhill, I think, this moment for Ashley. See what he can come up with, though. I think right now, really, his only rook e8. Yep. No.
Undefended pawn. You could just take that if you want.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe Victor might just start picking off pawns here.
Start doubling up your rooks.
Yeah, doubling up the rooks. Rooks on the same file or rank, supporting each other. Very. I think maybe Ashley at this point, kind of one of the things he might try and look for is, options for a back rank mate. Sometimes when you get into the action and start attacking, you get that, and if you move your defenders, it's one possible way I think Ashley could swing the game, but Victor's a good player. I don't think he's been taking his time on some of these moves, so.
Very deliberate, very methodical. Both kings are vulnerable to that back rank mate.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ashley's rook are both just defending pawns. I think we might see Victor take an opportunity to, maybe move that E rook over to A1, get him connected.
Get him stacked and go in for the kill from there.
Oh, he goes for the open D file. That's okay too. Might be looking at getting his rooks down to that 7th rank down there.
7th rank, yeah.
Yeah. And there he goes. Yeah, so here's what I was talking about. I think, at this stage, maybe Ashley just moving that rook to B8. Saying like, oh, I'm not defending this pawn anymore. Do you want to take it? And at that point, that back rank, is an option now.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah, that's really mate in 2, right? If he doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, if Victor messes up, the only thing he can do is throw pieces in the way temporarily.
Yeah.
But
Block the knight, but yeah.
Just gonna do some weird shit. Wait, can I not move that?
That was a check.
Oh,
Moving into the check.
Yeah, no, I know how to play. I know how to play chess, Victor. Don't act like. Just,
A little bit of smack talk on a mistake there.
Producer Smashley, he is trying, folks.
there's nothing I can do here. There's nothing I can do here.
I could blunder a back rank.
No.
Checkmate.
About to just
Oh, see, Victor already saying he could blunder a back rank, so he already knows about. Think probably not gonna fall into it, but you know.
Just gonna do weird. Can I not? Fuck!
Stream.
All right, sir. There's no way.
Oh, that's
There's
it.
no way I'm winning.
Ashley doesn't want to do it any longer.
I was trying.
Resignation.
Yeah, I mean, you snuffed it out. Though.
Resignation. I think that was inevitable.
For that.
Yeah.
There were a couple things Smashley could have done to sort of make it a little bit more competitive, but
I feel like
Yeah,
when I'm
kind of
playing, like
delaying the inevitable at
players,
that point.
as soon as I get like an opening on one thing, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go for that and
Yeah.
hope that they screw up.
Yeah.
But then if they don't, then I'm like, well, that's all I had.
Whenever I play Blitz, I always fall for that shit. And yeah, this like 30-minute.
Just the little tricks.
I always fall for them. Yeah.
Little insight into the mind of the players there.
hmm,
We're gonna get even more insight, I believe. We're
deeper
getting
insight.
we're getting Ashley, producer Ashley. Can you hear us, Ashley? I think we're getting the mics working here, I believe.
Hello. Now I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Sounds like we got you. Unfortunate that you didn't pull out the win there, but first producing and playing experience in one night. How was the experience? How did that work out for you?
That is, first of all, factually incorrect. This is the second time.
Oh, apologies.
It happened once last season.
You are such a little bitch.
What? Well,
Backup producer talking smack.
the last time though, there wasn't producer Kelsey here though, so it was a lot better this time. I could actually like focus on the game. Yeah, I basically was just like when I played Funk the other day. I was just trying to hang and keep it even and just play ultra defensive. And I actually got all of Funk's pieces off the board the other day. And then at some point I was trying to go for that with Victor. Hey, would you shut up? Hey, I'm trying to interview here.
Lots of emotions here.
No, so no. Anyways, I was kind of trying to just do that with Victor too, just try to get as many pieces off the board like evenly. And then at one point he did this rook move where I saw that there was a fork, and I kind of thought that he would see it, and I was just trying to bait him into it. And then I extra baited him into it with like that bishop move too, and then he covered it, and then I kind of just didn't know what to do after that.
Yeah, we were looking at that. We thought that was probably your play there, but didn't. Yeah, there was the fork, but there was ways for him to get out of that.
Yeah, I was just hoping for him to screw up like Funk did the other. Is Funk on the commentary right now?
Yeah, I believe he is here. We also got Doug. Doug, do you have any questions for producer Smashley?
Well, one question, and that is that was a bit of a power move there with the going to take a bathroom break in the middle of the game.
I had to be so bad.
You're consuming a fair amount of delicious Three Magnets beer this evening, so
that's true.
That's good. Yeah. No, I mean, I've been in those situations where I do a desperation move, and it all hinges on my opponent not seeing it, and.
It wasn't a.
Tell me how it feels.
No, I wasn't down at that point. I wouldn't call that a desperation move. It was just kind of.
No, when I do it, it's desperation move.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I just saw an opening, and I just kind of hoped that like I could kind of figure it out and just like have that space covered enough. But yeah, I mean I could tell by his he did like a little head nod, kind of like right after I did the move, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'm gonna let you fork me. So, and then I lost like pawn structure and stuff, and it was just all downhill. And then by the end there, like there was nothing I was gonna do. I don't know if those rooks technically had a mate yet on the computer, but I couldn't deal with both of them. There was just no way I was gonna win that.
Yeah, we were speculating that maybe you could move one of the rooks to the open file and go for that back rank mate, but then we heard Victor talking about it. We kind of assumed he probably would have seen it, but didn't seem like there's many other options going for something like that.
Yeah. It's Funk's mic. I already told him.
What?
Yeah. Oh, your mic kind of cuts in and out.
I've already been telling him
okay.
all stream. There's some weird setting with his mic. Anyway, yeah. I
was fun to
saw
watch.
that too,
That
but
was-
then yeah, Victor actually said something out loud too, and I was like, okay, well.
Well, you gave it your all. You came with that producer energy, so good job there.
No, I don't know what my energy is. Kelsey has producer energy. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. The producer booth got taken over by some wild animals. Things got crazy there.
Oh, did you guys hear Shane shit his pants, by the way? Because he was sitting over there and I heard like this noise, but I didn't think anything of it. But then he kind of like looked over at me and was like, Ashley. And I was like, oh, because I would not have even thought that he shit his pants. But then he tried to blame it on me. And I was like, oh, you did shit your pants like right next to me. So I remember
It might
Kyle.
be time to get Victor.
Yeah, Kyle actually tried the pants shitting strategy against Funk in the championship last year. I'm being told I'm getting the Yeah, do you want to?
All right, second yellow card.
You shit your pants.
All right,
Well,
let's move on.
you heard it. You heard it here, folks. That was Ashley playing under the moniker Ashley Stinks Dummy. Better luck next time.
Hey guys,
You'll get him someday. Victor,
how's it going?
congratulations.
Thank you.
Well played. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. 2 in a row. Feels good.
Yeah. Did you? It seemed like there were a lot of shenanigans going. We had Ashley doing the bathroom break, producing perhaps while playing.
Definitely multitasking. Definitely accusing
Did
folks,
you
so-
feel like you were getting distraction there? Maybe it was part of his game, or it seemed like you were pretty focused.
Yeah, I feel like it was part of his strategy to distract me with all the things going on, but I kept my eyes on the board. Didn't let his accusations of Shane shitting his pants distract me too much. Can't confirm.
I admire your ability to stay focused amidst all those distractions. And I'm one non-chess related question. What beer were you drinking tonight?
I got the stout.
The stout.
I forget what
Fantastic.
it was called. Yeah, and it came with a fortune cookie that my wife Jolie brought to me mid-match because I forgot it at the bar. I was going to open it after the match, and I had forgotten already, so I got to do it.
You should. Can you grab it? You should open it right now.
All right,
Fortune
let's see
live on stream.
Wow, this mic. Let's fix it up. All right, got the fortune here. A short stranger will soon enter your life with blessings to share.
Wow. Short stranger. Wonder who that is.
And you look right over his
That-
face.
I'm pretty sure we're the same height, though.
It's a good one.
Well,
I do have a question. So you pretty much sniffed out the fork that Smashley was trying to set up on you there.
Yeah, I had a moment of why do you do that, and then it seemed like a trap. So I just started taking my time, seeing what the actual trap was, and then and went from there. At that point,
Nicely done.
Yeah. Just kind of reinforced the center. I was afraid of giving up the center because then if I do, that would probably lead to a lot of mistakes. So I just try to play it safe.
well, yeah. It was very well played. Good, consistent play, even through all the distractions. So, congratulations.
Thanks. It was entertaining.
Hopefully,
that's
we'll
for sure.
see you in some future streams.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
They're
Thanks, Victor.
distracted. Yeah, I think we're good. Kelsey?
Are we asking more questions? What's happening?
I don't know.
No, we're good. I think.
Oh, well then get the fuck out of here, Victor.
See you guys. Good game, Ashley.
Yeah, we did the fortune. We asked the questions. He was drinking a stout. He saw your saw the fork attempt.
we're setting up for the next game, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna have them actually go straight into it, and then we're gonna do their entrance vids in the middle, just for the sake of time.
Okay, we're getting these games through. We got some long-running games tonight, but we're Gonna finish these out. We got just a couple more minutes here. Our final game of the night, Division 2 game. We got Katie versus Maxwell. I believe this is both of their first on-stream games this season. So it should be good. Don't have the Division 2 standings up on the board, up on the screen yet, but we'll have those for you in a second. Division 2, the chosen name for Division 2, D's Knights. D's Knights.
D's Knights, very clever name.
As voted on by the players in the division. And yeah, 3 Magnus Brewing, Olympia, Washington. Hope you're having a good time watching some chess. We'll try and keep it family friendly for the rest of the night. No promises. Can never tell if producer actually has a mic, but
well, it's the mic plus the beer equals. We start getting into non-family friendly territory there.
Yeah. But we will have chess. Chess is coming. Final game of the night. Week 3, Season 2. Olympia Blunders Chess.
See, I'm checking standings on the through the Discord link.
Standings will be on the screen in just a moment.
I don't know if they're up to date. Oh, he's going to post them. Okay.
Yeah, he's Producer Smashly getting back into producer mode. This is another switch. We had the switch from producer to player. Now we're getting the player back to producer. See if it affects his producing abilities at all. Unclear where producer Kelsey went. No, sometimes we see producer Smashly lean on. It's a little bit of a crutch, but producer world, there's a lot of support, help, cooperation. Can't do it alone, folks.
Yep. He makes it look easy, but it is complicated work. Oh, here we go. We have the standings.
We do have the standings now. So here we go. Division 2 standings. Katie and Maxwell. So sitting at 6 and 8 right now. 4.3 points. Pretty close on points so far. But again, pretty early in the season. And we're underway already. So Katie on the white pieces, Maxwell playing black, and we have a Queen Pawn opening, second game in a row.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a solid opening. I find it's hard for me to mess it up, so I like it as an opener.
Yeah, it's I always preferred the King Pawn, but yeah, Queen Pawn. There's some fun stuff you can do with it. Bishop out quickly. And we've got 30-minute games, so a little extra on the clock because we're playing live chess. Some time to enter the move.
Already having to take a little bit of time to think about this follow-up move.
Mm-hmm. All right. Getting the pieces out on the board very early. It's hard to completely mess up a game this. Usually just want to get out your pieces, see what your opponent's going to do.
Not a whole lot of banter just yet either. Just settling into the tone here.
But both seem pretty focused right now. Oh, we got a G-pawn push.
I'm so used to touching the screen.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of conversation. They're both playing the board, not playing the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of fun to see.
No. This is what it's been a while, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got our kings and queens mixed up on the board.
Oh.
Yes, we should. Yep, we're gonna switch it really fast.
Queens are on their
Oh.
color, so
Wait.
Okay, mine was.
Oh, it seems like we had some board setup issues here. That's okay.
Yeah, we're good players. As
I
we
just copied your setup is what
yeah,
happened there.
exactly. I kind of figured that, but I was like, oh shit, that is exactly what happened.
these two are on it.
Yeah.
We're doing good. You know, anything can happen here in these live games. We got the F pawn push. Interesting.
I wonder if any of our commentators noticed that. Hopefully. If they are, you know.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to see the board from there.
Seems like they're interested in our observation skill. I did not notice the live setup was like that. It can be a little hard to see the pieces sometimes. We don't have. Yeah, no, I think we've had kind of an overhead view before. I don't think we've set that up this season.
Yeah, we don't get that camera angle anymore. So I had no idea the pieces were set up incorrectly on the board. And interesting, they happen to be playing from the board this time. Normally the players are looking at the phone more.
All right, taking time on this move. So he brings out the knight.
Turn back with the knight. The computer's a little bit all over on this one, but I think it's still kind of this game is still developing, so I'm not putting a whole lot of stock into the computer's projection here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in general, I kind of do like Maxwell position a little bit more. And I think, the computer sees some things. I think there might be some tactics where you can kind of win a pawn if you're Maxwell with certain strategies, but I don't think there's nothing immediately, this kind of style, I don't huge. So let's take one of the pawns. I think we'll take that pawn. Let's see the take back. And yeah, still pretty even on the computer. I think if I'm Maxwell here, I'm just going to continue to develop. Probably move my bishops out. Maybe prepare for a castle. Again, no immediate threats. I guess you could consider too maybe a6 pawn push, because Katie moving that knight and b5 kind of threatens that c7 pawn. There's some ideas there that might be worth defending against as well, but I think there's also some ways to get out of that if Katie does choose to play. Yep. Develops his bishop.
I think Maxwell's doing a great job being aggressive with the black pieces. I mean, not starting out on his heels.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes, as black, you kind of get into, sometimes it's kind of instinctual to play defensive. We have to find the right balance, depending on how aggressive white is or isn't playing, taking over the aggression in a, slower game, or, waiting for a counterattack at the right point. A lot of difference. he moves the knight up.
Bringing that knight up.
It's a little aggressive, but at the same time, currently the knight doesn't have a whole lot it can do at this point without Katie kind of leaving an opening for it. Moves the queen up. Looks like Katie might actually be preparing for a queenside cap.
Uh-huh. Away from the attack, so that's seems like a good good direction to go.
Mm-hmm. Still, yeah. Computer has it almost dead even though, so. Maxwell brings up the bishop. It's great, you know. Piece development. This stage of the game. This stage of the doing.
Yeah, got him out there.
Oh, and gotta move. Knight move to the middle here.
That seems like a good place to have your knight, sort of in that sort of attack position, but the slider bar didn't like it.
Yeah, I think you know, Max can he could trade. You know, both knights are now can trade with that one if.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, kind of. If Katie then takes back with, say, the pawn, then she's got kind of two stacked e-pawns in the middle of the board, which is not an ideal pawn structure. I'd kind of want.
Yeah. Now being very deliberate.
Yeah, Maxwell seemed to take, you know, similar amount of time to consider a lot of these moves. Good consistency.
We've got wild animals taking over the producer's booth again.
Ooh, yeah, producer Smashley, unknown whereabouts right now.
So let's see. Yeah, that bishop is under threat. So Katie's going to answer by pulling back.
Yeah, it's an interesting play by Maxwell because it, you know, that kind of opens up his king side a little bit, so castling there now is a little bit less viable. But, oh, okay. Knight's now attacked, but I believe, I don't know, it's kind of swinging back and forth here.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get some trades, and we're just going to see how it ends up after a few moves here.
Yep, I think we're about to see some carnage here. Yep.
And Maxwell takes back.
So when Ashley talks to Twitch, I wonder if...
I think perhaps Katie might have gotten a more pronounced advantage if she took actually the other knight, because then even if Maxwell takes back with the bishop, the queen is still attacking.
Yes.
Might be able to win a minor piece. Katie goes the other way. trades the other knight. Now is trying to kick that black bishop.
Are we going to see more trading, or are we going to see something else? Let's see.
Yeah, Maxwell's pawn structure on his queen side a little bit messed up now after that trade.
A little bit of a retreat.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Well, he's offering the trade again. Maybe might just want to be simplifying the board.
Offer accepted. Yep.
And let's see if he takes back with the queen or the pawn. Takes with the pawn.
It was already stacked. I guess there's no harm in that.
Computer leaning Katie now, but again, not a huge advantage, but yeah, I'd say kind of early on, actually, Maxwell's overall position more. I think at this point, kind of like Katie a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm with the computer here. A lot of it has to do with that pawn structure. You see, Maxwell's pushed up pawns on both sides. King's a little more exposed. Might finally see that castle from Katie as well on the.
Yeah, way over. Yeah, that.
It's like I want to castle long, but I can't remember where the.
Yeah, that king, Maxwell's king is just hanging out there.
Cool. Thank you. And the rook ends up one square to the right. Cool.
Saw Maxwell take a little sip of delicious Three Magnets beer a moment ago. That could help.
Might possibly also the stout. I believe maybe he got a fortune cookie too. We'll check on that later.
Yes. There's the castle by Katie.
Yeah.
Max, what beer did you get? What beer did you get?
I got the mild brown, I want to say it's called.
That does not come with a fortune cookie.
Oh, the mild brown.
No fortune cookie.
No fortune
for
cookie
Maxwell.
on that commentary.
No.
What beers come
But still, great beer. I think.
But still, I
believe
love
that's
it. Yeah.
I think it's an English style. I believe.
It is. It's a delicious. Yeah, it's called a mild, but I don't know why. The flavor is very full. Very delicious beer.
Yeah. I don't know why they named it like that.
Yeah.
The fortune cookie comes with the in-bed stout. He actually got the mild.
Here we go. You can try both, folks, if you want to come down to Three Magnets Brewing in Olympia. Perhaps turning into the greatest chess bar in the state of Washington.
As far as I know, it is.
Yeah. If you think you have a better chess bar, let us know. I'd love to hear the details.
No, you wouldn't.
I
would. The computer hated that one.
Okay, we got bringing the queen out.
Yeah. Huge advantage to Katie on that.
Let's see, what is the computer? Yeah, this is not seeing straight away what it wants. Maybe queen f3? No, that doesn't quite work. No, pawn push wasn't it, but let's see if Maxwell takes the a pawn, which is now undefended, comes with check.
Yeah, and Katie just did a little face palm there. Saw something they didn't like.
That was the face palm there.
And that's what it is. Yep.
So we do have check. the king can go. I think the king has to now. It does defend the knight, at least, but I think Maxwell can just take another pawn if he wants.
Yeah, sitting right there.
Although, if whatever the computer saw is still there, we'll see if that advantage swings again. Yes, it does. It does. It does see some sort of mood for Katie. I'm quite sure what it is. Might be. Oh, I think it's probably H3, which forces the knight back to H6, and then you can do some stuff with some checks and maybe get an advantage that way. That's my guess.
Or put that queen under some pressure with the rook. Seem to hold the line there. What in the world?
Yeah, so we are. So it is. Yeah, still keeping that advantage. Seems we got a migration going on at the same time.
Duck.
You know. Oh my gosh, we have Eternity Duck, I believe, also.
It's a ducko chamber.
Yep, as they say, two ducks walked into a bar, and the third one ducked.
Hey, Maxwell's moves locked and loaded.
Offering the trade here. Oh wait, we are doing. This is our mid-game entrance vids.
Mid-game entrance vids. Yep.
Katie, very, stoic, eyes straight forward, focused. A lot of focus. Nope. Okay, lost focus a second. Yeah. Okay, regained it. Maxwell looks relaxed. Drink in hand.
Beer. Yeah.
Considering. Ooh, a little sip. Casual hand in the pocket. Yeah, this is a person who is calm, cool, and collected. Bringing it back to the action, we did have and I believe Katie took the pawn back with a bishop. So queens are off the board.
God did not save the queen. Did not sing that anthem.
Computer advantage pretty close back to equal again. You get a little pawn push, attack that bishop, knock it back. I like that, kind of close off that diagonal. Force it out of there. It's kind of
plenty of time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of developed into a pretty fun position here. I'd call this kind of like semi-open. Like a lot of the pieces have, a lot of options to go to. I think positions like these are ones where you can find kind of, brilliant kind of moves and things that, it's a lot to consider, and it's easy. Or even, sometimes you can find those wild moves as well. So.
Yeah, all kinds of action in the middle of the board here.
So we got, it's kind of almost saying, hey, do you want to trade bishops? think if I'm Maxwell, I probably wouldn't trade at this point. I think he's better with his bishop where it is right now. Katie's is less effective.
Oh, thought about it and pulled back. Hang on.
Maybe he can hear us. We don't know.
Psychically connected.
Yeah, so he just pulls it back a little bit.
Lives to pray another day.
Computer not big on that, but I don't think it's terrible. I think maybe the computer sees now that rook is kind of attacking that F file. There might be ways to kind of move, attack that knight, force it to retreat, and then leaves that pawn undefended. But not a huge risk, I'd say, at this point.
Yeah, this is quite a détente. They seem really really even, and I think one slight mistake here and things are going to topple.
Yeah, the bishop retreats. Another trade offer here.
This is the opposite of a trade war.
Oh, he moves it back, but the computer, a little bit of a swing here.
Yeah, I guess I can see why he went in that direction, other than the trade, because otherwise he'd be stuck behind that knight. So what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. He moves the bishop up to attacks that knight, but I think maybe a quick take pawn there.
Yep. Now the rook's under threat.
Mm-hmm. Peter's still giving Katie a little bit of the overall advantage. I believe Maxwell has a 2-pawn advantage at this point. Yeah, currently up 2 pawns, but Katie with apparently a slight position advantage. I kind of agree with that. Her rooks are definitely more active. She has been attacking. We've had Maxwell a little bit on the retreat here.
Yeah, but he could put a check on Katie here and force her to react.
Yeah, I think actually that's really almost the only move right now.
That is kind of a fork, actually.
Yeah, a little, yeah. Nothing effective. Actually, that might not even work. That
Knight to F3. It's
well, knight to F3 because Katie could just take with the pawn for that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ugh.
Yeah. There's actually not a lot of great moves there.
Yeah, you're right. That would have cost me a knight.
We got a little bit of a closer view of the live board here.
They are playing live. They are playing on the live board. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think for Maxwell to kind of, I wouldn't call it saving this bishop, but I think he needs to counter back. Yeah, see this. I think
that could be the mistake.
Katie can take this. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, Katie with the advantage now. We'll see if she can, work her pieces together and keep it going.
Start
Maxwell,
the advance here.
Yeah, Maxwell does have, I think, the good part here is he's, pawns on each side of the board. He can threaten to march down.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, you'll have to be wary of that. But now with that knight, she's got a little more maneuverability there. He does. He starts pushing that A pawn already.
Yeah, it's amazing. Some of the things I just don't see, and then there's there's a pawn just waiting to take your knight.
I kind of, for Katie right here, I kind of like if she takes the H7 pawn with her. That square is also being attacked by her bishop right now. So, she moves one short. I think I would have taken it. Yeah. She's threatening that F6 pawn now, but see if Maxwell just keeps up this pawn march on the A file.
I wonder. Well, no, I don't see. Trying to anticipate Katie's next move. But
Yeah.
I don't really. Yeah.
I think it depends on what Maxwell decides to do. If I think if he doesn't defend that F pawn, like by moving the king forward one square, I think she's probably just gonna take that pawn. Seems like that was her goal to begin with. If Maxwell does something like pushing the pawn, I think she might still be okay with that. Interesting. Defends that H pawn now. I think maybe Maxwell kind of saw that threat I was just talking about. But that F pawn is now under threat, so.
Yeah, that F pawn is a sitting duck right there.
Yep, and there she goes.
There it goes.
Now she's attacking another pawn right after that on C file.
Mm-hmm.
Tougher and tougher, I think, for Maxwell as we move on.
Yeah, barring a serious mistake, I see Katie having a huge edge here. Start trying to move some pawns forward and maybe snag a queen and get back into it.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're still gonna probably see Katie take that C pawn.
Maxwell taking a little sip of delicious Three Magnets beer to take the edge off here. And
Pawns are disappearing.
It's a good day for a cardigan. It's nice, cozy sweater weather we're in.
Oh yeah. A little bit of snow falling throughout the region. There's Pawn keeps him marching. Yeah, so Katie's gotten knocked off a few pawns here. Point, it's kind of... I think they're going to have to decide on how they actually want to, commit to this attack.
Yeah. I mean, there's another free pawn for the taking. Could start to stack your rooks.
Yeah, I kind of like... Yeah, putting those rooks on the same file. Goes all the way down to 7th rank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Katie could get, well, I'm just trying to think what, on that back row has some option. Katie has some options to get that bishop over there. Move the other rook on the C file to the back row.
Mm-hmm. So Maxwell moves out his bishop.
Oh, that pawn wasn't actually free. That bishop would just snagged it. Okay.
Oh yeah, with the knight.
Yeah.
But we could, at this point, I think Katie could start to offer trades. Maybe bishop e6. Kind of either kind of force trades or at the same time move more advantageous positions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So she takes... Yeah, that's a fun move. She takes the pawn. Maxwell can't really take back because Katie then threatens mate by moving that C rook on the C file to C8.
Okay. Sorry about that. Kind of a gutsy move there.
Yeah.
Tempting to just take that knight, but
oh wow, Maxwell still had the castle. I didn't even consider that. A late castle, yeah. Don't usually see it in this kind of position, but there you go. Castles, I think that works. Considering.
yes, yeah, that's he's in a much better defensive position now.
Katie moving that knight further in.
Closing ranks here.
Yeah, there's a lot of hostile pieces working their way towards that king, I think, right now.
All kinds of action in that corner. About to go down.
Maxwell is down to about, I think it's 13 minutes right now. So using a bit of his clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, with these threats from Katie, I don't know how much clock is going to be needed.
You can't use it for next game. So a little pressure on that rook.
Yeah, I kind of like this move because not only is that attacking, but that also opened up that F rook is now attacking Katie's. So it's kind of a reveal attack. So now two pieces at once are almost getting attacked. So, Katie, got to be careful. There are ways out of it, but if you're not looking at one of those attacks, it could definitely miss it.
Yeah. Let's see. Does that leave a pawn? Well, that pawn is vulnerable over. But that's not where she goes.
Okay,
Oh.
puts the rooks on the 7th. So now there's mate threats. So even taking that bishop now, not necessarily. Oh, it does. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is there a forced mate here? I think there is a forced mate here, but it's not easy to find. I think you gotta get the knight involved. Yeah, Katie can force a mate with a series of checks here. I think check with the rook in front of the king. If the king goes to the corner, you check again, another check, and then I think that you can bring the knight over to e6 get a mate.
Just really backed into that corner there.
And again, we've talked about it a few times, I think, on these games. These rooks when they support each other in the same file, extremely powerful tool that you can use.
I think Katie's doing the math here. Maxwell finishing off the beer. He's got one more sip left.
See if Katie can find it. I think she knows that there's probably something here. To gotta work out all those moves. Make sure sometimes you do them in the wrong.
Yeah, that king can get pretty slippery if if you're not careful. I've experienced that myself, thinking I had an easy checkmate and just didn't think it through. Katie's got tons of time though, so
yeah,
taking time, think it through.
Getting close, I think, to the end of the third game of the night here. 3 Magnus Brewing Olympia Blenders Chess League, Season 2, Week 3, Game 3 of the night. Oh, and Katie moves the knight first, and that she needed to check. This might offer Maxwell some reprieve.
Little escape route possibly here.
I think maybe something like moving the rook back to f7 might work. I think that possibly abates the threat there. Oh, he takes the pawn though. I think Katie can do it again.
Just gotta do the check here.
Yeah, again, considering.
Kind of fun to see. You know, Katie sees something there. Not in her mind there, but I'm definitely going to ask about this. You know something's there.
Double rook endgame feels weird.
It always does.
Taking her time.
So let's see, this is week 3 of 8. So we're going to be reaching the midpoint of the season next week. I'm going to be on site playing one on a broadcast game. I'm playing Josh.
That's
last time. Speaking of seeing a checkmate that I just couldn't get. 20 moves later, I finally got him.
That should be a fun. That should be a fun one. Oh, we have a pawn move.
Oh,
now we have a big swing.
Wow.
I don't think it's easy for Maxwell to take advantage of this, but it looks like there's definite attacks you can do.
The computer says you should be able to do this.
Yeah, I think we'd need to see a series of checks.
Right. I mean, he could pick up tempo here. Yeah, put the king in check with that rook back there.
But this sequence is not
That's what
easy.
he does.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently that wasn't the right move.
Yeah, I think there was a very. Oh no! He can get a mate here. I believe if he rook a3 check, I think all Katie could do is interpose with the rook for one move.
Oh no!
Oh no! He checks with the bishop. Oh, he didn't see it. Oh, high tension here. We got mate threats on both sides.
This is swinging back and forth, heavy hitters.
That was for you.
I don't believe it. Nobody gets that excited about chess.
It was. There's about a 10-second
Yeah, now we see
the pub. There's about a 10-second delay, and the entire pub just went whoa, and we heard it clear in the back here.
And the crowd goes wild.
We've got live viewing in the pub. I think the players might have gotten a little bit of feedback from the crowd. Okay, so we've got the computer's rating this is dead even. I think what the computer wants Maxwell to do is maybe there might be a way he can just permanently, check over and over again and do 3-move repetition here. Again, not easy.
Well, there's a couple of options to put Katie in check here.
Yeah.
It's either rook, and he picks that one, which computer says was not the right one.
Yeah, so Katie might just block here.
That's a safe move. And would push that rook out of the A file, A file.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely leaves some of the pressure for Maxwell, though, as far as the threats that Katie had. Oh, she moves the king. Okay.
Computer took a minute to think. Still thinking.
Yeah, now this is tough. Maxwell got to be very careful here. That mate threat that Katie had before is still, it's back now, and
she's just got to get tempo though, and if you're running away from these checks, you just can't. It's so frustrating because I've been there. If I could just get out of threat for one move, I could get the upper hand here. But
yeah, I think at this point it's going to be tough for Maxwell to keep checking effectively. There's a few more checks to do, but I think at this point Katie might be able to kind of maneuver out of that threat.
Decided to double up.
I think again, Katie now has force mate if she can find it. Now moving either rook to the back rank. The only move at this point is Maxwell would have to move. Just gets taken and checkmate at that point, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Katie sees it. I think this is it.
There it is. Oh, shoot.
Darn it.
That does appear to be the case.
Yeah, Maxwell, I think, is seeing it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the last move, and then that's all I wrote.
What a battle!
What a game!
That was awesome.
Just a
handshake.
What a finish!
Wow.
Yeah, I think both players, I think, should be proud. I think with, I think for a long time was real, and then Katie did get an advantage, but that close.
Battled back. Yeah, from
razor's edge there.
That was high chess drama.
We're getting Maxwell set up here. Can you hear us okay, Maxwell?
I can hear you.
Well played. We were, Doug and I here were just talking. It was, the game was actually pretty even for a long time. There were small advantages different players could have. And then at the end there, both players had mate threats, I think. Definitely great performance on both sides. What was your overall impression? How did you feel through it?
You're kind of cutting out, but I think you were asking what my overall impression was. And I would say it was a hoot. It was great fun to play in person with a real board. As far as the game itself, I was drinking a mild and I felt like I was playing a mild game. Yeah.
We got really Doug here. Yeah, Doug. Go ahead, Doug.
You really battled back out of a bind. That was impressive. How you actually gained advantage after being in a real bind. So I really admire the way you fought that one. That was a solid game, and I think you heard the crowd noise. The crowd roared at some of these moves. So
I love
that's at least got to feel good.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
So I believe this was your first game on stream this season. Is that right?
That is the truth.
What did you feel any different, like playing on the? Do you think that helped or hurt you at all? Or you feel like you're going back to the app, or how did that feel for you?
Yeah, I'd say it was. Let's see. I think it hurt a little bit just because it's it's a little different than playing at home in my bed. So let's see. I would say holding physical pieces, being able to look at your opponent rather than just look at the screen is, I like that more. Yeah, I would say as far as just entertainment for me, this was more fun. But as far as the chess itself, I think it influences you a little bit. And, you know, yeah, there's crowd sounds. Ashley is getting up and getting another beer and then sitting back down, and all of that's great fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, you know, I know you came away with a loss, but I think you should still be proud of your performance. That was, you know, both players. It was really fun to watch. Really entertaining chess. Yeah.
I hope you're entertained.
Awesome. I think we're gonna move on. Katie, I believe yeah.
All right, Katie, you're up.
Katie over here.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Katie. First of all, congratulations. Well played. How do you feel after that?
Ooh, glad it's done.
Did you? So you know, it was you kind of had some mate opportunities at the. Looked like you were looking. You kind of took a while studying some of those positions. What was? Did you? Was it hard to find? Like, what were the considerations?
Yeah, when I had both my rooks on the 7th row, I was really staring and saying, like, okay, what kind of opportunities do I have to get my bishop in play or my knight in play to try to open up the back end a little bit to get through and get a mate off of that. So yeah, I was looking for it pretty close, but I couldn't hunt it down.
Yeah, well, it was definitely fun to watch. I think as a viewer, because it was swinging back and forth for sure for a little bit there. We got Doug here too doing commentary. Doug, did you have some questions for Katie?
Kind of an observation. It was kind of cool to see. I could tell that you saw it, that you saw that there was an opportunity there, and then sort of Maxwell managed to slip away for a bit and put you back under pressure, but then you gained the upper hand and closed it out. So yeah, it was just, I could see it. You could sense it there. But yeah, well played. You got it done.
Yeah, I do a lot of puzzles, so I keep my eyes on the mate prize. So I really tried to stay set up for that and not get distracted by what he was doing.
Yeah, and we've also been asking, I think this is also your first live stream game this season. You know, we else for the first game. How did it feel? Like, you know, physical board can be a little bit different. What was the impressions from in-person chess?
Yeah, it was definitely different. I'm not used to seeing the pieces from that angle. I was definitely looking at chess.com on my phone because I'm more used to being that view. But it was cool to handle the pieces and see my opponent and hear all the shouts from the pub.
The crowd goes wild. That was fun.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. You know, well done. Well deserved victory. And hopefully we'll see you in some more.
Yeah, for sure.
Future weeks of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome. There is the winner, folks, of the final game of the night. Katie coming away with the Division 2 victory. And I think we're going to be wrapping up here. Three Magnus Brewing, Olympia Washington, Olympia Blunt Chess League. I'm Funk. We had John on game 1 earlier, and Doug here. Final 2 games. Thanks, Doug.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
And producer Ashley's, producer Kelsey, producer Shane. Let's call it out. Producer Shane as well. Coming at you, and yeah, I believe we are also have a Saturday stream, Saturday afternoon live stream, I believe. A few more games. We have some players in town in Olympia who are in the league. I believe there might even be a Canadian playing a few games. So
I think Shawnee's coming down. Yeah.
Yeah. Hit the alarm button if you want to stream it on Saturday. But we should also be back future days for streams. Thanks for joining us. Thanks everybody. Thanks again to Three Magnets for always being gracious hosts, and we'll see you again